All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're taking a highly cinematic, honestly kind of futuristic look at the absolute cutting edge of global logistics. I mean, we are moving way beyond the old days of clipboards and static spreadsheets. Instead, we're entering this incredible era where the physical movement of goods across the globe is seamlessly mirrored by a living, breathing digital twin. We're going to explore how smart supply chains don't just, track cargo, they actually see, predict, and respond to massive global events in real time. So buckle up, because we are about to step right inside the nerve center of modern operations.
A supply chain cannot respond quickly if it cannot see what is happening in real time. That right there is a fundamental truth. Historically, a lack of visibility has been the absolute greatest vulnerability in global trade. To really wrap our heads around how we overcome this today, I want you to imagine a protagonist for our case study. Let's call him Logi. Logi is an operations manager, and his entire job is to prevent disruptions across a massive, highly volatile global logistics network. Think about it. If he can't see the board, he literally can't play the game.
Chapter 1. The Cyber-Physical Control Tower.
Picture this. Logi walks through the secure doors of a state-of-the-art facility. Wall-to-wall, glowing digital maps light up the room. They're pulsing with live shipment signals, instantly updating risk alerts. He's operating within what we call a cyber-physical supply chain. This means that every single physical action, whether it's a giant crane lifting a container in Shanghai, a truck hitting the brakes on a highway in Germany, or a freight train moving across the American Midwest, is instantaneously connected to digital data. It's this perfect marriage of the physical world of goods with the digital world of platforms, sensors, and analytics. So Logi isn't just staring at a static map, he's looking at a living reflection of the physical world.
Chapter 2. Sensing through IoT data. So in our scenario, Logi slips on a pair of augmented reality glasses, and boom, instantly the physical world overlaps with digital shipment data via the Internet of Things, or IoT. With zero human intervention, sensors attached to trucks, shipping containers, individual pallets, and even warehouse shelves are constantly whispering data back to the control tower. To put the sheer scale of this into perspective for a second, some modern global supply chains generate over 300,000 data points every single minute. They're feeding in real-time updates on the exact location, the ambient temperature, vehicle speed, and even shock, letting Logi know instantly if, say, a fragile shipment was dropped. The IoT acts as the literal eyes and ears of the operation, capturing all this data right at the edge of the physical world.
But wait, what happens when a massive cargo ship sails into the middle of the Pacific Ocean, or a truck drives through a super remote mountain pass? In the past, those were total black holes for supply chain managers. You just crossed your fingers and hoped. Now, satellite communication completely bridges that gap. By using geostationary satellites, communication dishes on top of these vehicles ensure continuous connectivity. It completely eliminates those blind spots, ensuring that global assets remain visible, and allowing dispatchers to redirect trucks or ships no matter how remote they might be.
Chapter 3. AI Prediction and Disruption.
So Logi is receiving millions of data points every second. Weather patterns, port schedules, inventory levels, supplier updates, customer demand. It is just a relentless flood of information known as big data. Frankly, it would be totally humanly impossible to analyze all of this manually. Big data is really just the raw fuel. It provides the millions of data points. But artificial intelligence, that is the engine. AI utilizes machine learning to filter through this massive data bank, identifying evolving patterns, and actually predict outcomes before they happen in the real world. AI is doing all the heavy lifting, untangling that complex web of real-time signals so Logi doesn't have to.
And suddenly, the AI triggers an alert. Red lights start flashing across Logi's AR glasses. A major port on the West Coast is severely congested. Ships are dropping anchor offshore, delayed by days. Downstream deliveries are now critically at risk. If this isn't handled immediately, that delay is going to ripple through the entire network, causing manufacturing lines to completely halt and retail shelves to sit empty. So the massive question Logi faces right now is, how do we prevent a major port congestion disruption before it cascades?
Chapter 4. Rapid Response and Rerouting.
Well, because the AI caught the delay so early, Logi doesn't even panic. He just leverages the control tower to intervene. He immediately begins executing dynamic responses, shifting from passive observation into active, network-wide command. Looking at his routing dashboard, Logi dynamically reroutes delivery vehicles away from the congested zones. He grabs freight scheduled for the delayed port and shifts it over to rail networks further up the coast. He alters delivery schedules and pushes automated alerts right to the distribution centers so they could adjust their labor and dock door schedules on the fly.
The control tower essentially allows him to reorchestrate this entire logistics ballet totally seamlessly.
Chapter 5. Blockchain and Digital Trust.
But here's the catch. This level of rapid, on-the-fly agility introduces a massive new problem. How do all these disparate companies verify handovers, assure quality checks, and execute brand new contracts by the minute without getting completely buried in paperwork, or worse, falling victim to fraudulent data? The solution is blockchain. It is a permanent, cryptographically sealed digital record of transactions, all stored across a decentralized network. Because the blockchain isn't controlled by just one single company, it acts as a single, unchangeable source of truth. No one can secretly go in and alter the temperature record of a sensitive pharmaceutical shipment or fake a delivery confirmation.
Following this digital trust chain from day one, we move from the supplier over to the transporter, through the port operator, into the warehouse, and finally straight to the customer. Every single node on this chain verifies the exact same transaction history. So when Logi rerouted those trucks earlier, the smart contracts embedded in the blockchain automatically updated themselves. And when the goods finally hit the warehouse, the system automatically triggers the financial payment. Trust is no longer this slow, manual, painstaking process. It is instant and cryptographic.
Chapter 6. Stabilizing the Connected Network.
Thanks to those early AI warnings, the rapid rerouting capabilities, and the seamless trust provided by blockchain, Logi watches those red alerts on his dashboard slowly fade back to green. Crisis averted. Whew, the tension drops. The ultimate payoff of this massive technological integration is real-time visibility. It absolutely improves overall coordination across thousands of miles. It reduces critical delays that honestly cost companies millions. It prevents downstream stockouts, so consumers actually get what they ordered. And perhaps most importantly, when disruptions inevitably do happen, it supports dramatically faster recovery times. Logi's trucks, trains, ships, and warehouses are all now moving in perfect sync within a truly connected digital network.
Which brings us to the core lesson of our explainer today. The cyber-physical control tower does not only track goods, it helps supply chains predict disruption and respond before failure spreads. We are no longer just looking at a screen to see where a box is. We are predicting where that box will struggle to go, and we are clearing the path for it before the problem even physically materializes. It is a complete paradigm shift from a reactive supply chain to a proactive, self-correcting ecosystem.
Sense in real time, predict early, coordinate fast, keep the supply chain moving. That right there is the mandate of the modern supply chain professional. As you think about the networks you manage or the systems you study, ask yourself, are you just reacting to the past or are you actually engineering the future? The tools are out there, from IoT to AI to blockchain. The real question is, how quickly will you build your own control tower? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep innovating.